Thanks, as always, to my editing team. Gerlin Thimun, Hal, Pixel, the Cat, Old Dave 1951, and George Anderson. Hardask Knight is my mentor and gives me valuable feedback. S. Brooks 103X also helps me with my work. Thank you, I appreciate you all. Randy. I walked past the department store and looked in the window. Inside, there was a long line of kids waiting to see Santa. He looked young, maybe around 20, and didn't seem very happy to be there. I could understand why. I noticed one of the store workers close off the line so no more people could join. It seemed Santa was done for the day. I found it a bit amusing, so I stayed to watch for a moment. Then I saw a young woman and a little girl rush to the door. Their faces fell when they saw the closed sign. The little girl looked especially sad. They stepped back outside, and I could hear the girl quietly crying. Her mother was comforting her. "I'm so sorry, sweetie. I came as soon as I could," the mother said. "I know, Mom. It's not your fault," the little girl replied, hugging her tightly. "It's just that tomorrow is Christmas and I won't get another chance." I really wanted to talk to him. They stood there for a moment, just holding each other. "Come on, Molly," the mother said. "We need to get to the shelter if we want a place to stay." It was hard to watch them like this. "Excuse me, ma'am," I said, clearing my throat. "I don't mean to interrupt, but I couldn't help overhearing. If your daughter really wants to talk to Santa, I can help with that." They both looked at me with wide, unsure eyes. The mother's face was beautiful, a mix of different backgrounds. The daughter was even lighter-skinned, with similar enchanting features. The mom started to step back slightly, moving her daughter behind her. "Please, don't be scared," I said, kneeling down on the snowy sidewalk. I realized my size could be intimidating. "Just hear me out for a moment and I won't bother you again." They paused, still clearly unsure of me. "What do you want, mister?" the mom asked cautiously. "My company is having a Christmas party at the Adams Hotel tonight," I explained. "I know Santa is going to be there. I heard you mention needing a place to stay. It's very cold, and I'm worried you may not find a shelter. I have 25 rooms booked at the hotel for our staff, just in case some need to stay safe. There will be food, gifts for everyone, and I can promise you'll have a room for the night. You can probably stay a little longer. You can order anything you like from room service. I'll give you a card, and if you show it at the door, they'll let you in, I promise." "What do you want from us?" Mom asked. "I want to help you and make you happy," I told her. "Why would you do that?" she wanted to know. "I'm a nice guy," I smiled at her. "It's Christmas. I can help and I will, no strings attached. How about this? I'll get you a cab and you can head to the shelter. Let me be your backup. If you get a bed, you can return there after you talk to Santa. If you don't, you come to me, okay?" They looked at me for a moment. "He has nice eyes, Mom," the little one said. Mom stepped closer and offered me her mittened hand. I put my card in her hand and called a cab. It pulled up and I gave the driver a $50 bill. "Give them the change when you drop them off," I told him. "Wait and see if they get in. If they don't, bring them to the Adams and there's another 100 for you. If they get in but want to come to the Adams, you can still bring them. You'll still get the 100. Do you understand?" I tore a $100 bill in half and handed him one half. "Yes, sir," he answered. They got in and off they went. I didn't expect to see them again. There was too much sadness in their eyes. I sighed. What a tough world we live in. Just in case, I went into the department store. They were bundled up, so it was hard to tell their sizes. I guess they might be skinny and not eating well. Mom was tall, maybe close to 6 feet. The daughter was little, maybe 4 or 5. I asked a young saleswoman for help. I explained what I wanted, and we figured out sizes together. I had the items wrapped up, and when I went outside, the car was waiting. Frederick took me to the hotel, and I changed for the party. It was already in full swing when I stepped off the elevator. A server approached me for my drink order. I asked for a good bourbon and headed to the table. People greeted me with pats on the back and compliments about the party. I smiled and shook a few hands. Melina came over to meet me, and I kissed her cheek. She looked beautiful and led me to the table. Melina is my personal assistant, and I would be lost without her. She's an amazing woman with a lovely complexion and beautiful dark hair. I had been at the table for about 10 minutes when Paul, my sales manager, and Melina began telling me a funny story about a meeting earlier that day. Suddenly, there was some commotion outside the door, and one of the hotel staff approached me. "Sir, there is a person outside," he said in a slightly rude tone. "She says you invited her to the party. She has a child with her and she had your card. Do you want me to send her away?" I quickly stood up. "Absolutely not," I said. "Paul, Melina, could you give me a moment?" I went to the door just as they were going outside. I hurried onto the sidewalk and caught up with them. "I'm so sorry," I said. "Please come in. I was hoping you'd join us, but I was worried you wouldn't." "Did you find a place to stay?" Mom shook her head sadly. No, her voice was shaky. You were right, we were too late. I saw the taxi driver waiting and I gave him the other half of the money I promised. Thanks, man, I told him. Thank you, sir, he replied. Have a great Christmas. They both had backpacks, so I took Mom's arm and brought them back inside. We walked up to the front desk where I spoke to the manager. He looked at them as if there was something wrong, which annoyed me. Is there an issue with your attitude? I asked him. No, sir. He looked away from me. He handed me a key card and I grabbed the gifts I had bought for them from behind the desk. Why don't you go up to your room, freshen up, and then come back down for the party? I said. It'll be going on until at least midnight. I'll make sure Santa is waiting and then we can eat, okay? I handed them the packages. What are these? Mom asked. I told you there would be gifts, I replied. She seemed unsure, but the little one was so excited that she had to agree. I took them to the elevator and informed the attendant to bring them to me when they returned. I gave the bellhop the instructions and waited close to an hour before I saw them coming back. I was amazed by how they looked. Mom was stunning, and the little one was adorable. They both had lovely black curls that framed their faces. Their hair fell beautifully down their backs. Mom wore the red dress I had chosen, and I had guessed her size right. The little one wore a blue dress that suited her perfectly, too. They both had cozy shawls draped over their shoulders and shiny bracelets. They wore leather chokers with pink stones and looked wonderful. They walked carefully, and I suspected I hadn't chosen the right shoe sizes for them. They carried little black clutches, and I stood when they reached the table. I had saved 2 chairs for them. I hugged Mom, but she was stiff in my arms. I need to know your name so I can introduce you, I whispered. Just play along, okay? I felt her nod, and she smelled nice. I'm Sahara Wright, and this is Molly, she whispered. Who are you? Blaze Wainwright, I said. I own the company that is hosting the party. It's Wainwright Consulting, she said with a nod. I introduced my friends Melina and Paul to her. They took a seat, and I got some champagne for Sahara and punch for Molly. After a few sips, I led them to the buffet. I knew they were likely hungry, so we filled our plates and headed to a meeting room to eat together. They finished quickly, and I took them back for seconds. I managed to eat my meal just in time before they finished their second plates, and then we went to get dessert. We returned to the main table and enjoyed dessert as the band began to play. I glanced at Molly, who had a bright smile that lit up the whole room. Soon after, Paul asked her to dance. She looked unsure at first, glancing at her mother, but Sahara gave her a nod. I could hear her laughter as Paul twirled her, and she moved gracefully across the floor. I joined Melina for a dance, and eventually, Paul returned to the table with Molly. She whispered to her mother, and when I returned Melina, I asked Sahara to dance too. She hesitated, but with encouragement from Molly, Paul, and Melina, she agreed. Though she didn't know ballroom dancing, she had a natural rhythm. She moved fluidly and was clearly quite athletic. At one point, I dipped her low, and her hair brushed against the floor. Once the song ended, we went back to our seats. I noticed the door attendant and signaled for him. He brought over some colorful packages and then went back out. When he returned, Santa was with him. Santa was Bill Kemp, my ex-father-in-law and my best friend for more than 20 years. After Samantha left me to follow her dreams, he had disowned her. As far as I know, they've not spoken since. His own marriage had faced challenges because of this until his wife, Helena, accepted that she had to support him completely in order to save their marriage. Bill had worked as my security chief since I started the company in 1998. Molly squealed when she saw him. Approaching our table, he resembled someone who had just come from the North Pole. Molly, is that you? The elves say you're on the naughty list, he joked. Molly looked like she might cry. No, sweetheart, Santa was just being playful, Bill said, looking surprised. You're definitely on the nice list. Now come sit on my knee and tell me what you want. Molly climbed up and hugged him, her soft voice filling the air. Santa, we need somewhere to live. It was chilly outside, and we felt scared sleeping in the subway. My mom and I just needed someone to care for us. Dad doesn't love us, and that makes us feel very lonely and afraid. Please, can someone come to love us? Bill was too emotional to say anything. He looked at us with concern, and we all tried to see through the tears in our eyes. I heard Sahara gasp, and she quickly pulled Molly off Bill's lap and walked toward the door. Melina looked at me and said, Do something, don't let them leave. I jumped up and stopped them before they could leave. I knelt down in front of them. Please, just let us go, Sahara said. This was a bad idea. I can't let her hope like this, she cried. Sahara, this was the best idea I've had, I replied. You don't have to go anywhere. You have a warm room upstairs with a nice bed and a big bathtub. I'll be 2 rooms away, and Melina is just 1 floor above you. I told you that you could stay here. You can stay as long as you need. I can help you. Do you need a job? I can offer you one. It won't be free. You'll work hard and earn every bit. You can stay until you find your feet. If you want, you can pay me back when you can. Just give me a chance. Molly deserves this, and so do you. You didn't open your gifts. Let's go back with our heads high. It's Christmas Eve, Sahara. Let's make Molly's wish come true. If you can trust me, trust Melina, Paul, and Santa. We're all good people, Sahara. You're good people, too. Let's make this a Christmas to remember. She looked at me with doubt. Molly ran to me and hugged me tightly. Yes, please, Blaze, she said. Mom, can we please open our presents? I stood up and offered my hand to Sahara. She took it slowly. Chin up, shoulders back, I told her. We walked back in silently. We all had gifts, even Santa. Molly was overjoyed with 2 dolls, a stuffed unicorn, and a big tin of popcorn. Sahara received a cozy bathrobe, a box of fudge, and a gift card for Macy's. I got a fitness tracker, a gift card for iTunes, and 3 bottles of cologne, which made everyone laugh. I see what everyone thinks of me, I chuckled. I'm out of shape and smell bad. We just want you to be here for a while, Melina teased. He's a special guy, girls. If you're staying with us, you need to help us look after him. He'll just read books and sit around if we don't keep him on his toes. They all laughed, and I pretended to be really upset. I couldn't keep up the act when Molly climbed onto my lap and kissed my cheek. I don't know what that hound is, she said, but Mom and I want you to be around for a long time, too. I glanced at Sahara, whose big brown eyes looked so sincere. We chatted and played some games until Molly started to yawn. Some of us are 4 years old, Sahara said. I need to put Molly to bed. Can I talk to you later, Blaze? Do you want to come to my room? I asked. I quickly saw that this made her uneasy. It's okay, I said again. There's a sitting area at the end of the hall. Just knock on my door and we'll go there. Thank you, she replied. Thank you all. This has been the best night of our lives. We'll always remember how nice you all were to us. My shoes are hurting, she added with a grin. I'm a size 10. We all laughed. We're not done being nice to you, Bill said. We'll see you later, Sahara. Molly, you're the sweetest girl Santa has ever met. I'll see what I can do about your Christmas wish, okay? She hugged him and they walked away. Dang it, Blaze, Melina said as soon as they got in the elevator. That was the saddest and sweetest thing I've ever seen. I thought I would cry. How could you do that to that lovely girl? Hey, how was I to know she'd say that? I replied. I thought she wanted a pony or something. Bill took off his beard and hat. I could barely breathe, he said. It's not your fault, Blaze, but if you don't help those girls, I won't talk to you again. I swear if you don't do something, I'll adopt them myself. Melina and Paul will leave you tomorrow. I don't need to be pressured, I said. I brought them here. I'll make sure they get what they need. I think she's a very proud young girl, Paul said. You better be careful with how you help them. Give me some credit for having a little sense, I protested. Melina scoffed. You don't have enough sense to come in out of the cold. You're going to mess it all up. Well, I keep you all in work, don't I? I shot back. They all looked frustrated. Yes, you do, and we're thankful, Paul said. You're smart, Blaze, but you have no tact, you know that. Just watch me, I told them. If you give me any more trouble, I'll let go of all of you. They all looked upset again. Tired of their attitudes, I decided to end the night. Melina and Paul hugged me, and Bill gave my shoulder a quick pat. I left them to talk about me and went up to my suite. I really lived there. I changed out of my suit and into shorts and a t-shirt. I spent an hour on the treadmill, testing my new calorie tracker, and then I took a quick shower. After putting on clean shorts and a robe, I was enjoying some water with fruit when I heard a soft knock on the door. I poured 2 more glasses and went to the living room. Sahara was there, wearing her new robe. I handed her a glass and we sat on opposite ends of the sofa. She curled her legs under her, a way women often do. I need to tell you some things, she said. You're really like Catwoman, I replied. She laughed and the tension faded. I wish, she said. Actually, I feel like I'm in a tough spot. I'm a single mother with little money and no high school diploma, and my 4-year-old daughter might be taken away from me if family services found me. That's not true, I told her. You have a room at the Adams Hotel, and those people from family services couldn't even cover your rent. You have a good job, you're going to learn new skills, and you're going to finish high school this year. Then you will go to college and make good grades. Yes, you're a single mom now, but you have support. You will be okay, and so will Molly. It will take hard work, but I believe you can do it. I saw you rushing down the sidewalk after work so your daughter could see Santa. That shows your strength. Prove me wrong. I won't say you're wrong, but others might, she replied. I got pregnant in high school. My mom kicked me out when I told her. I lived with Molly's father for 1.5 years until things got bad. I had to leave school and work part-time at a convenience store. The pay is low and I have hospital bills I can't manage. I struggle to feed us. I've made a lot of poor choices. I know I'm smart, but I've messed up many times. I keep losing money to unexpected costs, like when Molly gets sick or when I've been robbed. People sometimes try to take advantage of me. There's someone who wants me to do things I don't want to do. I'm so low right now, and I've been thinking about it. They say you have to hit bottom before you can rise again. I've been at the bottom for a while. I want you to know what you're getting into. I will work hard, and I'll do anything you need me to do. But I won't be involved in anything like that. I understand where that's coming from, I said. But I never want to hear that again. You're a remarkable woman, Sahara, and no one expects you to do anything you're not comfortable with. If I wanted that, I could just go to that person you mentioned. I know it's hard for you to believe me, but you will see. You're going to quit that part-time job. This new job offers health insurance and savings plans. You'll start on Monday. Why can't I start tomorrow? She asked. Tomorrow is Christmas Day, I replied. We don't work on Christmas. You still need time to shop. You need to dress nicely, and Molly should look presentable. What will I be doing? She asked. You'll be helping Melina, I said. You'll assist with tasks like making coffee, restocking supplies, or guiding important visitors to different offices. You might be typing reports or taking notes in meetings. You'll do whatever she needs you to do, but if she asks anything personal, you do not have to do that. I smiled at her and she chuckled. Okay, I guess I deserved that. Since she told me she's engaged, I doubt that will be a concern. Well, she has different interests, I said, but she's not unfaithful. Now, is there anything you need to share with me? Yes, I do, she said. I have $73. How can I afford professional clothes? You have a gift card for Macy's, I told her. I'll ask Melina to take you and help you choose what you need. How much is left on it? She asked. I'm not sure, I replied. Melina will have a company card. If your card runs out, she'll use that. You'll get your own card by the end of the week. Just keep track of your expenses and you can use it for anything necessary, but you will have to explain your spending choices to Melina. You can also use it for food until you get your own cards. After that, it's up to you. You might eat here for a bit. You can order from room service or eat in the restaurant at no cost. You can also get everyday items from the hotel and anything available through the concierge without charge. That should help you get started. Anything else? What will Molly and I do tomorrow? She asked. Hopefully you'll join me at my daughter's house for Christmas dinner, I said. Oh no, we couldn't trouble your family like that, she replied. It's only a bother if I or she don't want you there, I said. I truly want you there, and once she meets both of you, she will want you there too. She is a very kind person, Sahara, much kinder than I am. That's how I raised her. I wanted her to be better than me. Thankfully, she listened to what I taught her. Do you think she will like me? Her voice shook a little, sounding worried. I think she'll really like you, and I know she'll like Molly too. Don't worry, I won't leave you with anyone you don't know. She sniffed a bit and nodded. Then she got up. I'm going to bed now. Thank you, Blaze. I can't thank you enough. Just be happy and take care of yourself and Molly. Live a good life, that's all I want for you, I replied. She came close, her big eyes looking straight into mine. She stood on her toes and lightly kissed my cheek. Then she hurried down the hallway and was gone. The next morning, when I knocked on their door, Molly opened it and jumped into my arms. Good morning, Angel, I said, hugging her tight. Are you ready to go? Yes, Mom and I washed our clothes this morning. You should see our huge bed. She pulled me into the bedroom to show me. I noticed they had fruit and cereal delivered. Sahara was putting on a sweater and her head popped out just as I walked in. Blaze, please knock, she exclaimed. He did knock, Mom, Molly told her. I wanted to show him our bed. Sahara turned red and her cheeks flushed beautifully. Sorry, she said, looking at Molly. Do I bring people into rooms when you're getting dressed? I'm sorry, Mom, I thought you were ready, Molly said. Well, that was a surprise, I grinned at Sahara. Her face got even redder, but she laughed. Well, now I'm dressed, she said. Are we ready? I'm sorry I don't have any nice clothes like you got us, Blaze. Both of them wore jeans, sneakers, and cozy sweaters. They might feel warm at Alicia's, but they looked good to me. You look great, I said. Let's go. The car was waiting for us outside, and we got in while Frederick held the door. Is this your car? Molly asked. Don't you ever drive? Why is it so big? I laughed, remembering Alicia asking the same questions. It belongs to the company. I do drive sometimes, and it's big so I can take you both with me. Don't ask so many questions, Sahara told her. How will I learn if I don't ask? Molly replied. That's true, I said. You're a smart girl. Sahara rolled her eyes. Please don't encourage her. She never stops. When we arrived in front of Alicia's building, Molly looked up in amazement. Why does your family live in such tall buildings? She asked. We like to make people look up and stretch their necks, I joked. She glanced at me to see if I was serious. No way, she said. You shouldn't tease little girls, Blaze. We both laughed, and the door attendant opened it for us and took us to the elevator. When the doors opened, delicious smells filled the hallway. I rang the bell, and a moment later, Alicia opened the door and jumped into my arms. We shared a sweet kiss, and I held her close. I loved my little girl, though she wasn't so little anymore. She was now 22 and in her 3rd year of college. I introduced her to Sahara and Molly, and she gave them warm hugs just like she did with everyone else. We were all swept up in her lively energy as she guided us inside. Chloe, her roommate, ran over with a joyful shout and hugged me tight. Hi, Dad, I've missed you. Since she was in 1st grade, she'd called me that. She showered me with kisses as I introduced her to Sahara and Molly, sharing our family ties. Alicia and Chloe then took them into the kitchen, where I saw Sahara busy making mashed potatoes. Molly sat on the counter, helping Alicia with a pie topped with whipped cream. Helena, my mother-in-law, waved and blew me a kiss from the kitchen. Laughter filled the air, and I joined Bill in the living room. Bill poured me a drink from a decanter, which turned out to be a very good scotch. After a little while, Alicia came in and curled up beside me. I have something to tell you, Daddy, she said. Promise me you won't be upset. That wasn't the best way to start a conversation, but I promised. You're not expecting a baby, are you? I asked. She playfully hit my arm. No, silly, Mom is coming by later. I felt disappointed rather than angry. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I inquired. I just found out. She called about 10 minutes before you arrived, she explained. Well, I can't believe this, Bill said. I won't stay in the same room with her. Helena and I will leave before she arrives. Blaze, you can come with us. Alicia became upset. She's my mother, and you both need to stop punishing her. How long will this go on? As long as it takes, he replied. Just tell me exactly when she's coming. You don't have to leave, Alicia reassured. She'll only be here for an hour. You and Grandma and Daddy can go to the den. I promise to keep her away from you, but I'm really disappointed in how you're all acting. Well, I'm disappointed in my daughter's choices and that my granddaughter doesn't see it, Bill said. I jumped in, trying to calm things down. Let's not say hurtful things. Bill, Alicia is not foolish. And Alicia, that was not polite. We all need to settle down. I'm glad you want to have a relationship with your mother, but the rest of us feel differently. You know that, and you shouldn't have invited her. Alicia began to tear up. I'm sorry, Grandpa. Do you think I don't understand her? Do you know how many nights I cried myself to sleep when I was 5 because my mother didn't love me? I know that many of you have strong feelings about her, but for my own peace of mind, I won't focus on that. I really didn't want her here today. I promise I'll keep her away from you. You can all go to the den and I'll handle it. Bill moved closer and took me in his arms. I'm sorry I called you stupid, he said. I just don't want to see her or think about her. It hurts. We hugged and I tried to calm down. Helena called out that dinner was ready and we all went to the dining room. We sat at the table and started passing the food around. I saw that Molly was sitting quietly, her hands folded in her lap, just watching. What's wrong, sweetie? I asked her. We should say a prayer, she said. Everyone looked at each other. I believe in God, but I'm not comfortable with open prayers. Do you want to say it? I asked. Yes, she nodded, her curls bouncing. We should hold hands. We all grasped hands with the person next to us and bowed our heads. I watched Sahara and Molly. Thank you, God, for this wonderful food, Molly started. Thank you for Mom and for us all being together. Thank you for Alicia and Chloe and how nice they are. Thank you for Bill and Helena. I've been praying for a long time, God. I wasn't sure you were listening. Maybe Santa told you. I've been asking for someone to love us and you sent us Blaze. Please let him keep loving us. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Sahara was in tears and the other girls were emotional as well by the time Molly finished. Chairs scraped as every woman in the room rushed to hug her. I felt my own cheeks wet with tears and Bill looked just as touched. It was heartwarming. Everyone was telling Molly they loved her and Alicia looked at me, letting me know what to do. I stood up, walked around the table and knelt down beside her chair. I pulled her little head against my chest. I'm always going to love you, Molly, I promised. I'll love you for the rest of my life. She smiled at me, and her little arms wrapped around me as far as they could reach. I'll love you for the rest of my life, too, she replied. I glanced at Sahara, and her eyes were shining with tears. Thank you, she whispered. I nodded, and we returned to our seats. Alicia played a Christmas album, and the whole afternoon became cheerful as we ate and laughed together. Bill and I cleaned up, then went into the den afterward, where the girls were watching a sentimental Christmas movie. I sat on the couch, and Alicia sat down next to me. After a while, Molly noticed me and climbed into my lap. I held both of them close, feeling happy and full of love. I had never felt better. Then, the doorbell rang. Alicia looked at us, and the cheerful mood faded just a bit, but I didn't let it bother me with a cozy little angel on my lap. Alicia went to answer the door, and soon I heard voices in the living room. Molly stirred awake, so I stood up and carried her toward the door. Alicia and her mother were there, and I leaned against the doorframe with Molly in my arms. I hadn't seen Samantha for more than 2 years. She lived somewhere in France, and I didn't keep track of her life. She fancied herself an artist, but I hadn't seen any of her work for sale in New York. Still, it seemed to make her happy. When I leaned against the door, she looked up at me and said, "Hello, Blaze, you look well." I nodded back. "Who's your girlfriend?" she asked. "I'm Molly," Molly called out. "I love Blaze, he loves me too, but I'm not his girlfriend. Do you love Blaze?" Samantha looked surprised. She stammered a bit and glanced at Alicia for help. Alicia simply raised an eyebrow. "Yes, I suppose I do," Samantha finally said. "We used to be married." "Why aren't you still married?" Molly asked. Samantha fumbled for words, but before she could answer, Sahara walked in and stood next to me. She put her arm around me, and I rested my other arm on her shoulder. Samantha looked shocked, and her face changed colors from pale to red. I turned back toward the den and took Sahara and Molly with me. "Who was that woman?" Sahara asked. "She used to be married to Blaze," Molly told her. "I forgot her name." Sahara looked up at me. "We got divorced 17 years ago," I explained. "Alicia and I weren't good for her dreams. We see her every few years when her dreams allow. It's a long story. I want another piece of pecan pie. Do you both want anything?" Molly wanted fudge and Sahara wanted coconut cream, so I went to get them. When I came back, Samantha had left and Alicia joined me in the kitchen. "She thought Sahara was your girlfriend and that Molly was your daughter," Alicia said. "I didn't correct her. It seemed like she was shocked to think you finally had someone in your life." "I've had someone for 22 years, I replied, pulling her in for a hug. "Yeah, me too," she smiled back. "Jamie is coming over." "Do you want to take Sahara and Molly for a walk with us?" Jamie was her boyfriend. I liked him well enough, but he was still a bit of a rival since he wanted to be with my girl. He worked on Wall Street. I told Alicia I'd ask them after we finished our pie. They both wanted to go, but they needed coats first. Alicia found a sweater for Sahara, and Molly wore a New York Comic Con hoodie with the sleeves rolled up. Jamie arrived, and we introduced him to everyone. We walked to the park and explored some trails. Molly held my hand as she skipped beside me. Soon I felt another hand slip into mine. It was Sahara smiling up at me. "Is this okay?" she whispered. I nodded and squeezed her hand. It was a lovely day, chilly but sunny. The snow sparkled, and we could see our breath in the cold air. Molly asked for a piggyback ride, and I carried her for a long while. She felt light, like she weighed just a little. Her cheerful chatter was the sweetest sound I had heard in a long time. Sahara moved closer and wrapped my arm around her shoulders, leaning against me as we walked. I played with her beautiful curls, and when we got back, I didn't want the day to end. We stayed until evening, sharing leftovers before heading home. The goodbyes were warm and a bit sad. Frederick held the door open for us. The girls snuggled up next to me as we talked and relaxed on the way back. I dropped them off at their door, and Molly gave me a hug before running inside. Sahara came close and looked up at me, saying, "Thank you, Blaze. This was the best day ever." Her gentle touch stayed with me as she left. As I walked down the hall, I felt happy and agreed with her. I couldn't remember feeling this good. After a workout to burn off some of the treats I had eaten, I showered and got into bed, dreaming of the lovely girls. Life settled into a routine after Christmas. Melina took Sahara and Molly shopping the day after, and Molly was excited to show me her new things. She pulled me down the hall to their room. She was so cute, and Sahara and I chatted about her starting school. Since Alicia had gone to a private school nearby, I suggested that Molly could go there as well. Sahara said they couldn't afford it, but I knew they had scholarships for children in need. I promised to look into it and said the company could help with tuition if it was necessary. For now, Molly joined the daycare at the office while Sahara worked. Each morning, we met in the hotel lobby and rode to work together. After dropping Molly at daycare, Sahara went to Melina's office. Though she had her own space, she wasn't in it much. On our first day there, about 2 hours in, my secretary Maria buzzed me. "Someone is here to see you," she said. "I'm letting her in." It was Molly with a daycare worker beside her. She rushed into my office and hugged me tightly. "I was lonely," she said. "I'm a little scared, Blaze. I don't know where Mom is, and we couldn't find her, so I came to you." "It's okay, sweetheart," I said to her. "You can come see me whenever you feel lonely or scared. Ask your teacher to help you find the way here and practice it. I'll have Maria show you where Mom's office is." She might not be there, but sometimes she will be. I'll let you know when she leaves the building. This became our routine. Every morning around 10:30, Molly would come up the elevator to my office. She would give me a hug and then go back to daycare. I started keeping some treats in my office, and we would enjoy one together before she returned. It didn't matter what I was doing. If I was in the office, I made time for that. I found out that my day felt better after receiving a hug from that cheerful little girl at 10:30 each morning. At 5:30, Molly would come back to my office, and we would wait for Sahara there. When she arrived, we would head home together, and it became our routine to eat out 3 times each week. Molly got into kindergarten at the school on a scholarship. She attended in the afternoons, and Frederick would pick her up from daycare around noon. They quickly became good friends. She was impossible not to love. If you looked closely, you could still see a bit of fear in both of them. It was most noticeable in Sahara, but they both seemed on edge around me. It was a bit sad how much they wanted to make me happy and how hard they tried to do so. I knew they had talked about this, as every time one of them started to argue with me about something, the other would quickly stop them. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. We were playing a silly board game one night, and Molly and I began a friendly disagreement about the rules. I noticed Sahara reach out and gently touch Molly's arm. Molly glanced up at her, and Sahara frowned. Instantly, Molly backed down and started to apologize to me. It was time for a talk. "Listen, girls," I said to them. "I see what you're doing. I appreciate that you want me to be happy, but I don't want you to act like you're scared of me. You should look at how Melina and Paul treat me. We argue a lot, but they aren't afraid of me at all. It hurts my feelings that you are. Do you really think I would get mad and send you away? That's not who I am, and it bothers me that you think it is. I'm sorry for the language, Molly. If you think I'm wrong, you need to let me know. It's okay to be upset with me. That's how friendships work. I care for both of you a lot. You are family to me, and even if I'm upset, that won't change. We will kiss and make up, and everything will be okay. Just relax and be yourself. I am not perfect." There were tears in Sahara's eyes. "You are special to us," she said quietly. "Since Christmas Eve, our lives have felt magical. We owe you so much. How can we argue or be upset with you when you've done so much for us? You don't know how hard it was for us, Blaze, and how much we appreciate you." "You don't owe me anything," I told her. "Neither of you owe me anything. How do you think it makes me feel when this little Christmas angel walks into my office in the morning, hugs me, and says she loves me? I couldn't buy that feeling with all the money in the world. And when I walk down the hall and see this lovely woman, her face lights up when she sees me, and we share that special bond. Where else can I find that? I am the one who should be grateful." "Well, I'm pretty sure you can find that with Alicia, Chloe, or Melina whenever you want," she said. "I know you care about us, Blaze, but we are scared this will all disappear and we'll end up back where we started. That fear is always with us and we can't help it. We'll try to do better. Please don't be upset with us. I don't take back my answers to prayers, and I've never heard that Santa takes things back either. No, you are stuck with me. I'm not mad at you, but I will be if you don't start treating me like a friend instead of something fragile you need to handle carefully." "We will do better," Molly said. "Please don't be upset, Blaze. What should we do?" "Well, just be yourselves. If you want to discuss the rules, feel free to tell me how you feel. I'm used to it." "Here's an idea. Molly, tomorrow night wear something nice and I will take you out on a date. Just the two of us, how does that sound? Then on Saturday night I will take your mother out. What do you think?" They looked at each other and burst out laughing. "Yes," they both said together. Molly and I went to her favorite restaurant and then to a concert. She looked amazing in her blue and white dress, and she wore a silver necklace with a blue stone. Her curls bounced around her. She was the most beautiful girl I had ever seen. I wasn't a fan of the music, but she loved it, and that made me happy. We came home with the music still thumping in my head. When she kissed me goodnight at the door, I felt like life was perfect. It got even better on Saturday. Sahara looked stunning when she arrived home. Her makeup was light, just highlighting her eyes, and her hair was a mass of curls falling down her back and framing her face. Her lips were a bright red, and the white dress she wore fit her snugly. While her figure wasn't overly curvy, it was emphasized in a way that caught my attention. She looked nice at work, but tonight she was stunning. She had a confident air about her. When she noticed me looking at the pendant hanging around her neck, she smiled. "Alicia wanted me to wear it," she said. "Are you two up to something?" I asked. "You'll never know," she replied with a grin. "Where are you taking me?" she asked. "Out to eat, then to a club for some dancing," I told her. "Where's Molly?" "She's having a sleepover with Alicia and Chloe," she said. I might call her a few times. I've never been apart from her like this. At work, I always know I can check on her if I need to. I have some worries, Blaze. I understand, it's fine, I assured her. If you miss her too much, we can go see her. Just keep me busy, she said as she took my arm and led me downstairs. I was driving this time. The valet brought up my Bugatti Veyron and Sahara's eyes sparkled with excitement. She hadn't seen it before. It was an orange and black model, and I opened the door for her. As she got in, her long legs reminded me just how tall she was. We arrived at Enote Maria, which had valet parking and my reservations. The restaurant wasn't busy early in the week, but it was crowded on weekends. The food was delicious, and everyone seemed to notice my date. I couldn't take my eyes off her either. She looked happier than I'd ever seen her, glowing with energy and joy. After dinner, I took her to a club where we sat in a booth in the VIP section. This kept the crowd down a bit, but after our first dance, people started coming over to ask her to dance. She turned them down kindly, and we danced to about every third song. She was sipping a Tom Collins, and I could see she was beginning to relax. A young man I recognized came by and asked her to dance. I encouraged her to join him, and she hesitantly accepted. I watched as she lit up on the dance floor. The change from the shy girl I had seen at the department store on Christmas Eve a few months ago was incredible. I couldn't have imagined this moment then. I was getting us another drink when I noticed a big guy in a brown sports jacket trying to pull Sahara away from her partner. I quickly got up and went over. He was speaking with a thick accent that I couldn't understand. Sahara was trying to get away from him, and I could see the fear and desperation on her face that I had seen the first time we met. "You come with Anton," he was saying when I got closer. "Anton has been looking for you, pretty Sahara. Are you ready to work for me now?" She saw me coming and tried to reach for me, but he was holding her arm tightly. I stepped in behind him and grabbed him firmly. He started to shout, but it turned into a struggle as I used all my strength to hold on. I'm a big guy, standing 6'4" and weighing about 240 pounds. I've been lifting weights regularly since I was 14, so I was strong. I squeezed his grip hard. He fell to the floor unconscious, and I took Sahara's arm to get her away from there. At first, she tried to pull away, but I made her look at me. "Sahara, it's me, I've got you," I said. She quickly hugged me tightly, crying, and I held her close while carrying her out the back door. An alarm went off when we stepped outside, and a bouncer came running toward us. He reached for me but stopped when he saw my expression. "It's not a good day for trouble," I told him. "If you were doing your job, we wouldn't be in this situation. Just give me a reason." He raised his hands and stepped back. "All right," I said. "Now go get the keys to the Bugatti and bring them back here." He hurried inside, and the alarm stopped. He returned a few minutes later with the keys and the manager. "Mr. Wainwright, I'm very sorry for this incident," the manager said. "Do you often allow your guests to be harassed on the dance floor?" I asked. "What kind of place is this?" "He was Romanian," the bouncer said. "I don't know how he got in." "Sounds like you need better security," I replied. "We're leaving." I took Sahara and we walked toward the parking lot. She was shaking and wouldn't let go of me. "How did that guy know you?" I asked. "He was the person I told you about," she managed to say. "He won't bother you again," I assured her. I placed her in the car and then got into the driver's seat. I felt a rush of energy and it seemed like I would burst. I let out a loud yell into the night, which helped a bit. When I entered, Sahara looked at me with wide, scared eyes. This made me feel even worse. I gently touched her arm and she stopped shaking. I pulled her close and wrapped my arms around her. "I'm sorry for scaring you," I said. "I just wanted this night to be special. A nice dinner, some dancing, maybe a quiet walk under the moon with the woman I care about. I had a lot of feelings built up inside." She gasped and looked at me with surprise. "Blaze, did you just say? The woman I care about, is that me?" "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud," I replied. "I'm not thinking straight. Yes, Sahara, it is you. I've been in love with you for months." "Didn't you realize I care about your daughter, too?" She hid her face in my jacket. "I hoped," she said softly. "I was scared to hope. I fell for you the moment you ran to help us at the door. You gave us a reason to believe. I thought you might only see me as a friend. I thought you might feel the same about Alicia or Maylena. Alicia told me she thought you liked me. That's when she gave me the pendant to wear. We were trying to think of a way for you to ask me out. When you surprised me, Molly and I had just been discussing it. I know I'm younger and have my issues, but I promise you won't regret caring for me." "I don't think I will," I said. I took her chin and lifted her face to mine. Those eyes were so beautiful, and I kissed her gently. I had never felt anything like it. She closed her eyes and kissed me back. The kiss felt intense and full of emotion. When she pulled away, she looked at me curiously. "I wanted to wait until you knew you could trust me." I explained. I didn't want to take advantage of you because you were grateful or felt like you owed me. I want you to love me because you think I'm worth loving. I do think that, she replied. You are the kindest man I know. I am thankful and I do feel like I owe you, but that's not why I care for you. I care about you for who you are. I love what you did for Molly and me. Plus, you're quite handsome, she said with a smile. I wanted tonight to be special, she continued. I planned for us to be alone without any interruptions. I wanted us to be close. But now, with everything that's happening in my life, I feel nervous. Do you think we could just go home and you could hold me? She looked at me and asked. Just let me feel safe and know that you love me. I cannot think of anything I would like better, I told her. Well, maybe a few other things. I gently touched her soft arm. But that is at the top of my list. I want to hold you and make you feel safe for the rest of your life, Sahara. Take me home, she said. We walked into the lobby and I gave the keys to the valet. Sahara stayed close to me as we went to the elevator. We rode up to our floor. She stopped at her place to get some things. Then we went to my room. I remembered she had been scared the first time she came here. Things had changed. She showed no fear now. She went to the bathroom. I heard water running. She left the door open, so I joined her. We brushed our teeth together at the sink. She washed off her makeup. I was amazed at how nice her skin looked. She really did not need makeup. I watched her. She glanced at me from time to time. She got a little shy and told me to stop staring. I said I could not help it. She was too pretty not to watch. That made her blush. I left her to finish. She came out after a short time. We got ready for bed. We changed into comfortable clothes. She got into bed first. I joined her. I wanted to look at her, but I knew she was not ready for that yet. Her back was toward me. I moved us to the middle of the bed and held her gently from behind. She felt me close and started a little. But then she relaxed in my arms. I put one arm under her head. Her curly hair tickled my face. She asked me to just hold her close. Please, Blaze, just hold me, she whispered. I am so scared. Yes, that is what we talked about, I told her softly. I will only do what you want. We will go at your pace, Sahara. I saw a small mark on her back. I kissed it gently. She shivered a little. Is that from an old injury? I asked her. Yes, she said, from a difficult time in my past. Oh no, Sahara, I am so sorry, I told her. That will never happen again. I will never hurt you. You know that, right? Yes, you are so gentle with me, she said. We held each other and talked for a long time. Soon we both felt tired. We fell asleep together. The warm closeness was something we had missed for many years. It was still early and gray outside when I woke up. I felt light, soft touches. Sahara was awake. She was lying close to me. You are awake, right? She whispered. Yes, I said. Can I hold you too? Yes, she answered. She went to the bathroom for a short time. When she came back, I did the same. We got back under the covers. I pulled her near. We shared a long, warm kiss. Please be gentle, Blaze, she whispered. I want to be near you. Her body felt very warm against mine. We held each other close. It was a special moment for both of us. After some time, I pulled her up so our faces were near. I tried to kiss her. She pulled back a little. No, Blaze. Let me brush my teeth first, she said. I held her close and kissed her many times. If it was good for you, it is good for me too, I told her. You are amazing at showing your love, baby. Her face showed sadness. Molly's father made me do that all the time, she said with tears in her eyes. He hurt me if I did not do it right. That is how I got the scar you saw. I felt very angry at what she had gone through. I held her tight and whispered soft words. That will never happen again, Sahara, I said. I love you so much. What we have is all about love and care. We stayed like that for a long time. The closeness helped us both feel better. I said it was a gift and I loved her for it. I loved giving it to you, she said. It was different. I hated doing it with him. This was so different. I could feel how much it pleased you and it made me happy too. I loved watching your face. I felt so powerful and loved. I am going to want to do that a lot. I laughed softly. Sahara, you are every man's dream, but now it is my turn. I rolled her onto her back and began to show her my love. I kissed the soft spots on her neck and shoulders. Her skin felt very sensitive. She shook and made gentle sounds under me. She felt a strong wave of joy. It surprised both of us. She called out my name and held me tight. I kissed my way down with care. She looked so beautiful. I wanted to admire her forever. Blaze, you are embarrassing me, she said. Do you like me? Am I crazy? I asked. God, you are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen, Sahara. I love you. No, Blaze, she said and tried to move away. I held her gently and continued to show her love. He continued to show her his love with gentle kisses. She felt joy stronger than she had ever known. Her body shook with happiness. She called out my name as waves of joy washed over her. When the strong feelings passed, she pulled me close to her face. She was breathing fast. She kissed me with great love. Oh my God, Blaze, she said. I did not know it could feel like that. No one has ever made me feel this way. God, Blaze, I love you so much. I am hopelessly and desperately in love with you. Can we be close now, I mean together? Seeing her like that was enough to make me feel excited, and I was ready to be with her. I adjusted myself, and she felt me close to her. She made a small movement, and I gently touched her. She gasped and stiffened. Wait, she said softly. It's been a long, long time, and this feels big. I paused. I hope you're not let down, I said. Not at all, she replied. You're wonderful, Blaze. It's not too much, it feels just right. I had an experience before that was uncomfortable, but this is different. Please, let's continue. I moved in slowly, and she welcomed me this time. I sank in deeply, feeling the warmth around me. We stayed close for a moment, sharing soft kisses as I felt her body responding. Her hips moved a little, and I began to move with her, enjoying our closeness and the special moment we shared. She made soft sounds with each movement, and they grew into joyful expressions of pleasure. I felt her close to a peak, so I shifted to support myself on my hands and began moving faster. She responded with excitement, her eyes closed and a lovely smile on her flushed face. That sight overwhelmed me, and I felt joy as we connected deeply. I took a few more slow movements and paused, feeling completely with her as our hearts raced together. She pulled me down for a sweet kiss, and we looked into each other's eyes, seeking that closeness which made us feel loved. I shifted, bringing her with me until we lay together on our sides. If you touch me, I could feel that way again, she whispered. I chuckled, and surprisingly enough, that was true. Her whole body responded, and when she relaxed, she looked completely at peace. We napped together and shared a long shower, enjoying each other's company as we cleaned up. We dressed slowly, and then she suddenly gasped. What's wrong? I asked. The time, Molly, she exclaimed. I need to go get her. We'll go together, I reassured her. She's fine. But what if Alicia and Chloe have something planned? She worried. They go to church on Sundays, I replied. They probably took Molly with them. She seemed to feel better, but hurried me so we could be ready to leave. Do I look strange walking? She asked as we went down the hall. I laughed. Do you think you do? Yes, I feel a bit uncomfortable, she said with a smile. When we knocked on the door, no one answered, but the elevator dinged just as I was taking out my keys. The three girls appeared in the hall, and Molly squealed when she saw us and ran toward us. She hugged us tightly, going from one to the other, giving us quick kisses. I missed you all so much, she said. Were the girls nice to me? I asked. Yes, I love Alicia and Chloe, but I missed you. They gave me a donut and took me to church, she said excitedly. The music was wonderful, and I talked to God. That's great, dear, Sahara said, holding her close. I'm sure he enjoyed hearing from you. Does anyone want to go out for lunch? I asked them. They all agreed, and we went to a brunch buffet. As we walked down the hall, Sahara linked her arm with mine and playfully bumped her hip against mine. Alicia saw us and burst into laughter. I stopped. What's funny? I asked. She jumped on us and hugged us tightly. You did it, she shouted. Yeet, she cheered. I thought you two would never find your way to each other. I'm so happy for you, Daddy, and for you too, Sahara. We both turned bright red. What did they do? Molly asked. I think they both finally admitted they have feelings for each other, Chloe explained. Molly jumped up and down in excitement. I knew God was listening, she said happily. Does this mean you'll be my daddy now too, Blaze? Molly, Sahara said, looking shocked. You shouldn't ask things like that. She looked at me with worry in her eyes. I'm really sorry, Blaze. I'm not, Alicia said. Does this mean I'm getting a new baby sister, Daddy? It just means that my daughter and this little trickster I love are very curious, I replied. I picked up Molly and carried her to the elevator. That's a conversation your mother and I will have, and it won't involve you, Molly, I told her. We need some time to think about things like that. Just let us breathe for a moment, okay? Okay, Blaze, she said. I really want you to be my daddy. I will be very good for you. You're always good, sweetie, I said. Just give us some time, all right? She rested her head on my shoulder and whispered, I love you, into my ear. I could see Sahara was nervous all through lunch. She kept looking at me anxiously until I caught her gaze. It's okay, I mouthed to her, and she smiled a little and seemed to relax. Molly and Chloe talked the entire time we were eating and driving home. They were very much alike. They seemed to dislike quiet moments. They were both so kind and funny that no one ever minded. We dropped Alicia and Chloe off and headed home. When we arrived at their door, Sahara sent Molly inside and closed the door. She hugged me tightly and said, I've been wanting to do that. I'm really sorry about Molly and Alicia bothering you. You don't have to feel any pressure from me, Blaze. I care about you, and I'm happy with whatever kind of friendship we can share. Would you like to come over and hang out with us this evening? I would love that, I replied. I gave her a warm squeeze and she playfully tapped me before I walked down the hall. Everything felt normal on Monday. I had my usual visit from Molly and I didn't see Sahara until after lunch. We ran into each other at the elevator and she told me what she was up to. We got on and shared the space with two other people who got off on the 9th floor. As soon as the doors closed, she leaned in close. We kissed sweetly and she took my hand and placed it on her side. We quickly pulled apart when the elevator began to slow and straighten ourselves up. The doors opened, revealing Melina waiting to get on. She took one look at us and burst into laughter, asking, "Do you want me to wait for the next one?" Sahara blushed and stepped out. Melina chased after her, catching her halfway down the hall. I saw them embrace, and Melina whispered something to Sahara that made her smile. She winked at me, and I went to my office. Around 2:30, Maria buzzed me and said she would be away from her desk for an hour but didn't explain why. The door to my office opened, and when I looked up, Sahara was locking it. She turned to face me, and her blouse was slightly open. I could see hints of her blouse, and she playfully dropped her skirt, walking over to my desk. "Melina and Maria are making sure we won't be interrupted," she said. She spun my chair around and knelt down, playfully being quite bold. Moments later, she stood up and moved closer, and we shared another sweet moment together. It felt energetic and joyful, and we both enjoyed it thoroughly. Afterward, I lifted her up with a smile and carried her to the sofa, where we shared a longer, happy moment together. She seemed very happy, and we cuddled and talked for a while. Then I suddenly remembered something important and felt scared. "Sahara, are you on birth control?" I asked. "You were with me the other night, and I don't want you to get pregnant," she giggled. "No, silly, I started taking pills 3 months ago. Women think about these things." A big wave of relief washed over me. "Well, that's good because we men sometimes forget. I'm sorry, I should have asked sooner." "It's okay," she said, kissing me. "I wouldn't mind anyway. I love you, Blaze." "I love you too, but I don't like surprises," I replied. "We should get dressed. Our time is almost up. I could get used to this." "Me too," she said. "Blaze, if we keep this up, we need to talk to Molly. I'd like for you to spend the night with me and vice versa." "What do we tell a 5-year-old?" I asked. "Not much," she laughed. "Just that we're in love and might want some time alone." "That works," I said. "I don't want to give her too much information." Her laughter filled the room. "I never thought you'd be scared of a little girl, you big softy. I'll talk to her, but I want you there." It went smoothly, and Molly took the news well. We started spending at least 3 nights a week together, and Molly set up her own room at my place too. After a month, she told us she needed some Blaze time, so Thursday nights became special for just the two of us. Saturday nights were for Sahara and me, while Molly stayed with friends. I think they adored her just as much as we did. After 3 months together, it was Christmas again, and everyone came to my home for dinner. Sahara insisted we would cook, and Helena came to help. I left work a few days before Christmas to buy something special. The dinner turned out wonderful, and it felt like we were starting a new tradition since Molly led us in prayer once again. It was as heartfelt and beautiful as the first time, and we all gathered around her chair with tears in our eyes and shared a big hug. I had let Bill in on my plan, and he brought champagne flutes for everyone. People looked on with curiosity as I got up and knelt beside Sahara's chair. She started to cry and covered her face with her hands. Her sobs shook her, and I almost lost my focus. I looked at Alicia, who nodded to encourage me. "Sahara, look at me," I said. She wiped away the tears on her cheeks. "Sahara, I love you so much," I said. "It would make me the happiest person if you would marry me. Will you marry me, Sahara?" She couldn't find the words, but she nodded. "Yes," Molly shouted. "That means yes." "Yes, Blaze," Sahara managed to say. "I want to marry you more than anything." I took the ring box from my pocket and placed it on her finger. The ring had a big diamond with 2 rubies on each side, set in yellow gold. She held it to her lips and kissed it. I stood up, pulled her to her feet, and kissed her. Surrounded by cheering and hugging friends, Bill came to us and hugged us both. "It's about time," he said. "You're making her an honest woman. Congratulations." He kissed her cheek. "When do you think you will tie the knot?" Chloe asked. "I was thinking May 8th, I replied. "We haven't discussed it, but it was my parents' anniversary and a special day for them." "That sounds perfect to me," Sahara said. "I know you loved them a lot and they were very happy." "Melina is getting married in April, so we can practice then," I joked. I thought it was funny, but it almost went wrong. Her fiancé, David, was a lawyer who worked in a big firm. I never trusted him. He seemed insincere. But Melina loved him, and that was fine with me. She had lost her father and asked me to walk her down the aisle. Sahara was one of her bridesmaids. My heart swelled with pride when Melina came out ready for the ceremony. She looked stunning, and I had never been prouder of anyone. I started to worry when I noticed David was missing from the altar. It all went wrong in an instant. Melina stumbled when she realized he wasn't there, and when Sahara went to comfort her, she broke down. We took her back to the dressing room, and she told me that David had called off the wedding. He didn't love her and was in love with someone else. "I just want to go home," Melina cried. I could see she was hurting, so we left her to change. After 10 minutes, Sahara went in to check on her, but Melina was gone. Her wedding clothes were still there, which meant she must have slipped out in her wedding dress. We sent Molly home with Alicia and started looking for her. I thought she might catch a train, so we headed to the station. The train was just about to leave as we rushed through the cars. She was sitting in the second-to-last train car. Her pretty dress was dirty at the bottom, and she looked small and sad with her face hidden in her hands. We walked in and sat next to her, one on each side. She looked up when she sensed us and started to cry. I wrapped my arms around her while she sobbed, and Sahara patted her hair gently from behind. "What's wrong with me, Blaze?" she cried. "What happened? Why doesn't he love me?" "There's nothing wrong with you, sweetie," I reassured her. "You're beautiful, smart, kind, and amazing. It's not about you, Melina. He's the one with the problem. There are many wonderful people out there who would love to be with you. You just happened to fall for someone who didn't appreciate you. I'm glad you found out now instead of later. In 2 weeks, you'll be strong and happy again. I know your heart hurts, but you have so many people who care about you. I love you, and so does Paul, Bill, Sahara, and Molly. We think you're very special." She managed a small smile through her tears. "You're right," she said. "I am special, and forget him if he doesn't see it." But then she started crying again. "I loved him so much, Sahara." Sahara hugged her tighter and kissed her wet cheek. "I know you did. Let's get you home into a warm bath and have something nice to drink. You'll be okay. You're the strongest person I know, Melina. We're so lucky to have you." "Thank you," she said with a faint smile. "I'm lucky to have you all too." When we got to her place, Sahara ran a hot bath for her. They were in there for a long time, and when Melina came out, she wore a robe. She sat next to me on the sofa and leaned against me. "Blaze, can you stay for a bit?" she asked. "Of course," I replied. "Sahara, should I call a cab for you? I'll ask Frederick to pick you up from Alicia's, okay?" "That's fine," she answered. I called the cab and we talked for about 10 minutes. Then Sahara received the call saying the cab was here. She kissed me and gathered her things. She seemed a bit off, but I didn't think too much about it. As she reached the door, she looked back at me. "Blaze, I love you," she said. "I love you too," I replied. She looked like she was crying when she turned away. I stayed until about 9:30. Melina had some more crying spells, but she was a bit tipsy and fell asleep before I left. I checked on her one last time. She was sleeping soundly, a little ball under the covers. When I got home, I knocked on Sahara's door, but no one answered. I figured they might be getting some rest, so I went to bed. The next morning, I waited in the lobby for them, but soon we were running late. I tried calling her phone, but it went straight to voicemail. I called the room phone, and no one picked up. When I went back and opened the door, it was quiet inside, and the lights were off. I looked in the bedrooms and saw that their closets were partly empty, and many of their things were gone. I noticed that what was left were items I had given them. I had no idea what was happening. Feeling confused, I went to work. Maria told me that Sahara had called in for personal time and wouldn't come in. At 10:30, I found myself waiting for Molly to walk through my door, but it stayed shut, and a heavy sadness began to fill my heart. At noon, just when I was feeling desperate, Alicia walked in without warning and stood in front of my desk with her arms crossed. "What is wrong with you?" she nearly shouted. "What do you mean?" I replied. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Don't call me that," she said angrily. "What did you do to her? What did you say?" "Who are you talking about?" I asked, confused. "I promise I haven't done anything to anyone. Are you talking about Sahara? She's gone. The last time I saw her was at Melina's last night. She seemed a bit off, but I thought it was about Melina. She told me she loved me, and I told her I loved her too. I knocked on her door last night, but there was no answer. I waited for them this morning, but they never came. She took some time off, but I have no idea what's going on. Have you seen her? Have you spoken with her?" "Yes, I have," she replied, still upset. "She came to get Molly last night and was very upset. I finally got her to say that you were going to leave her. What did you tell her?" "She just said she was taking Molly and leaving. What did you do?" "I swear I didn't say anything about leaving her," I insisted. "I have no plans to leave. I would never hurt her. I want to spend my life with her. I've never said or done anything to make her think otherwise. I don't know what's going on, but it frustrates me that you think I could do something like that. It really hurts." The anger on Alicia's face softened. "Why does she think you're leaving her then? I can't believe you would do something so hurtful to those girls. What happened?" "Nothing happened," I said. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I really don't know what's going on. Do you know where she went? I need to talk to her and find out what made her think that. Alicia sat down in the chair across from me. She seemed deep in thought, and I was thinking hard too. What could have happened to make her believe I was leaving her? I thought about all the time we had spent together, but I couldn't remember much. Suddenly, Alicia sat up in her chair. "Oh my God," she said. "The wedding, that jerk didn't show up. When Melina fainted, it scared her. She ran away because she was scared you would do the same to her. You know, she struggles with self-confidence and has trust issues. That's why she ran. We need to find her, Daddy." "How?" I asked. "I don't know where to start." "I don't either, but Bill does," she replied. "Call him." In 30 minutes, we had a meeting in my office. Bill knew how to begin. He found her files and made copies of her details and photo. We all picked up the phone and called everyone on her contact list. Bill also called 5 detective agencies and offered them enough money to leave their other cases and start searching for Sahara and Molly. Our secretaries called every hotel in the city to check for her room. It took us 9 days to find them. One of the secretaries finally got the answer. They were at a Best Western in Woodbury. I sent a detective to watch them. We all traveled to Woodbury together. Melina wanted to come because she felt responsible. I thought it was a bit much, but I couldn't change her mind. Chloe, Alicia, Bill, Helena, Paul, and Maria all rode in a company limo. Frederick was driving and dropped them off at the IHOP in Huntington Station. I spoke with the detective. He mentioned they were walking back from a store. Frederick found them, and when the limo pulled up, they noticed. I took a moment to gather my courage. A lot was at stake. I opened the door and stood up. When Molly saw me, she screamed and rushed into my arms, crying on my chest. "Why, Blaze," she sobbed. "Why don't you love us anymore? What did we do? I'm so sorry if it was me. I promise I won't do it again." Sahara had come closer, reaching for Molly. She gasped when she heard her daughter's words and leaned against the car, covering her face. "No, Molly, I do love you," I told her. "You didn't do anything wrong. You're perfect, and I will always love you. I love your mother, too, and that will never change. Let me take you both somewhere special, and I will show you how much you are loved." Frederick opened the door, and Molly climbed in. "Come on, Mom," she cried. "He loves us. I knew he did." "Where are we going, Blaze?" "Not far," I replied. "Sahara, will you come with us, please? Just give me a chance. If you want, I'll bring you back here later and never bother you again. Just give me a chance." She agreed to come with me, and I climbed in beside her. Frederick shut the door, and we drove to the IHOP. When we arrived, Molly squealed with joy and rushed to hug everyone. Sahara almost cried when she saw all our friends gathered at a big booth. Chloe, Alicia, and Melina got up to help Sahara, Molly, and me find seats. We all sat down and ordered breakfast. There was a lot of talking, and every word was for Sahara and Molly. We expressed how worried we had been, how much we missed them, and how much we loved them. Molly looked so happy, while Sahara had tears in her eyes, mixing sadness and joy. We enjoyed our coffee, and then Sahara and I stepped outside for a walk. She was cold, so I offered her my jacket, wrapping it around her as we walked together. "Why did you run away from me?" I asked her gently. "I'm scared, Blaze," she admitted. "I panicked after what happened to Melina. That really frightened me. I'm not as strong as she is. I would feel lost without Molly, and I couldn't bear the thought of something happening to her, so I ran. I'm sorry." I stopped and sat down on a bench, turning her face toward me to meet her eyes. "You're the strongest person I know," I said. "You just need to believe in yourself. You've raised Molly by yourself, and she is the sweetest girl. You did that against all odds and fought for her. Fight for us, Sahara. Think about what you can do with your family by your side. Everyone back there is supporting you. They care about you. I care about you, and that will never change. Please don't run from me again. I will always find you and love you. I want to spend my life with you. I am not like David. He doesn't treat people well. I won't abandon those who depend on me." Sahara leaned into me. "I know, Blaze, I truly do. I'm just really scared. Everyone I have loved has either left or I've had to leave them. I told you I'm a mess." "I know, but you're my mess," I chuckled. "And you're mine too. What about Molly?" I saw a spark of realization in her eyes. "You're right," she said. "What was I thinking?" "You were thinking about the bad things," I replied. "I told you those bad things are behind us. Are you ready to come home, Sahara?" She stood up and smiled. "Yes, I am. Take me home, Blaze." We began our long walk back, and Molly was waiting for us.